Bruce Rauner was sworn in as the 42nd Governor of Illinois on January 12, 2015. His goal as governor is to create a more prosperous state where everyone has an opportunity to succeed. Goes right along with our mission here, Governor. The governor is focused on delivering value for taxpayers, creating a pro-jobs economic climate, ensuring a world-class schools for our children, educational options for every Illinoisan, bringing term limits and greater accountability to our state government. Bruce is a graduate from Dartmouth College with top honors and earned an MBA from Harvard University. He is a self-made businessman who helped build a startup investment firm into one of the most successful and respected businesses in Illinois. His campaign theme was to shake up Springfield. I think you've accomplished that so far. He has taken on an enormous challenge to change the direction of this state. There is no doubt about that. The IMA was proud to endorse Governor Rauner's candidacy last year and supported him financially, and we as an association continue to back his efforts to try to make Illinois prosperous again. It is a tough job. Ladies and gentlemen, give a very warm welcome to the Governor of the state of Illinois, Bruce Rauner.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You are very kind, and I am very excited to be here. Thank you. I want to be here for one simple reason, and desire to say thank you. Thank you for your persistence. Thank you for being business builders in Illinois. Your success is Illinois' success. You are the foundation of Illinois' economy, and I'm all in for you. I want you booming, and we're going to get it done. It's taking a little longer than I would like, but I am the most persistent rascal on the planet. I do not back down. I do not give up, and we're going to make big changes so your businesses can be competitive, you can invest, you can grow, you can thrive right here in the great state of Illinois. We're going to get it done. Now, you know, change is hard. We've been going down one road for a long time. Our property taxes have been going through the roof. We're going to put an end to that. Our workers' comp costs have been going through the roof. We're going to put an end to that. Our liability and insurance costs have been going through the roof. We're going to put an end to that. Fundamentally, our regulatory climate, the regulatory burden that you're dealing with every day. You now have a friendly administration who regards you as a partner, not an enemy, not an adversary. And we've got folks in our different departments up and down the chain of command. They're there with a mission to help you succeed, not get in your way, not create barriers for you, knock barriers down for you. And we're changing that culture. Takes a little time, but we've made big changes, big strides already. I'm very proud of the senior team we put in place in every department. We've got wonderful people, very talented, with good hearts, great minds, and they're there for the right reasons. They're not there because of some political connection. They're because they know what they're doing, they have deep expertise, and their number one priority is to grow the Illinois economy. We're going to get it done. Now, two big folks, the reason I did this, love of Illinois, two things, booming economy and outstanding education system. One of the things I've heard from many of you is your frustration with your ability to find folks with the technical skills to come into your firms. I hear it every day. And we are going to change that. We're going to make sure when we spend taxpayer money, it goes to our education system first and foremost. And even though we don't have a budget, I insisted with the legislature we increase state support for education. And we are not going to cut support for our vocational training system. I want to expand it. We're not going to cut funding for our community colleges. We're going to expand them. I want the best vocational technical training, job training system in America, along with the best K-12 education system in every school district throughout this state. So if you've got a workforce that will kick tails and help you succeed on a massive scale. Now the changes are hard. I actually, when I started this process, I thought we'd probably have a compromise in the fall. That was my original, when I started last January, I thought we'd have a compromise in the fall. It looks now most likely January to April. Okay? Persistence, stay strong. The reason it will now be after January 1st, I think two fundamental reasons. One, the Speaker has made it clear he'd rather not take tough votes when it takes a supermajority, and until January 1st it takes a supermajority to vote on virtually anything and have an immediate impact in this current fiscal year. So after January 1st, things get a little bit easier from a legislative point of view. The other reason it's probably not until January, it's that time frame when Chicago's issues will come more to the fore. I think most of you are probably well aware Chicago has very deep financial trouble. The tragedy is Chicago financially makes Illinois look well run. That's saying something. Chicago has massive trouble despite a huge property tax increase, the biggest in history. Even with that, they can't fully fund their police and fire pensions to the legally required amount. And what they've indicated to me is they can't keep their schools open all this academic year without massive layoffs, without some state support. Now, I'm a big education advocate, and I've spent a large amount of my financial resources and my personal time trying to improve the public schools in Chicago. They are still mostly woeful. It's a tragedy for the children of this city. It's very upsetting to me personally on multiple levels. And I do not want to see massive layoffs. I know the mayor doesn't either. I've said, we'll help. We're not going to do a big bailout, but we'll help. But you have to help me, Mr. Mayor, with the president and with the speaker. He's saying positive things in private, but it's the question of how hard will he push? What's the grand compromise? Will we work together? The city needs to help the state. The state will be willing to help the city. And that time frame is this winter. So I'm cautiously optimistic we'll work something out. We have made progress with our legislative talks. We have many members in the Democratic caucus who are beginning to see the reasonableness of some of our positions and are working with us in private working groups to find compromises. We need to change our workers' comp system significantly so we're competitive. Many of the legislators now get that, and we're beginning to get some traction there. And folks realize that our property taxes are just an undue burden. We're tied with New Jersey for the highest property taxes in America. And I don't want to be tied with New Jersey on anything, but I don't want to be tied with them on that. And members in the opposition realize it's a problem. That's the reason they were willing to stick their toe in the water on what was used to be a non-budget issue, and both houses have voted for a 2-year property tax freeze. That's a small step in the right direction, but what they don't talk about in the press is it's really a false step unless we get local control of costs, because after the 2 years freeze is up, the taxes will drop through the roof because all the costs will have built up and it'll be a massive increase. We need local control of bargaining, bidding, and contracting. Each community decide for itself how to handle those issues, and then we can have that freeze have a real impact, and we get a completely different cost curve on our property taxes around the state. Big fundamental change. Many of our opposition are a little bit scared of it, but they realize it can be a good thing, and it's hard for anybody to oppose local control. In your community, the schools are yours. You should decide. In your community, your city hall, if you need to build and put a new roof on it, you should decide how the bidding is done, how the construction's done. Springfield shouldn't mandate it. We've got to get these mandates off of you. Let your community decide for itself. We're making some progress. It's slow. A lot's been made in the media about this public, 4-liter meetings. Jim's giggling. This is mostly for show. We're in the waiting period until January. It's not like these significant issues are on the table. We know our positions. I've been meeting with Speaker Madigan for weeks. We have a lot of productive one-on-one meetings, and our legislators have been meeting. Our staff's been meeting. This talk in the media, well, they haven't talked since May, and they just did. That's one of the biggest frustrations now being in public service. What's in the media has very little correlation to reality. I mean, it's very frustrating. I can go out and talk, but what I say, the media will either ignore or spin. I mean, it's hard to get the truth out there. But the reality is we've had a lot of conversations. You know what, we don't agree on some important things, but we've got to find compromise. We have compromised. We will continue to work to compromise. We've introduced 6 bills. I've asked the Speaker, just vote on the 6 bills. We passed 530 bills this year. We could vote on 6. Term limits, hugely popular, both political parties. Redistricting reform, hugely popular, both political parties. Pension reform, tough, but President Culleton and I agree on the model to change the pensions in a constitutional way. We could save you $2 billion a year if we would vote on our pension reform. Not that tough. It's been done already before. I'm stunned that the Speaker has been unwilling to vote on the pension reform bill yet. I don't understand why. Workers' comp reform, big deal. We've got a good bill that we should vote on. Tort reform, big deal. And then a 2-year property tax freeze with local control tied to it. Those are the 6 bills. We're asking them to vote on it. Just vote. Let's just vote. And if you want to vote it down, go ahead. But let the people in your district see you vote those bills down. They've refused to vote on any of them. They won't call them because they know they're good bills. They know they're the right thing to do. They don't want to let it hit the floor. So we're going to stay strong. I've said I'm open to revenue. I'm an anti-tax guy. I'm a free enterprise, small government growth person. I don't like taxes. I'm willing to raise taxes, some taxes for a period of time, work them back down, because we've got to pay off $7 billion of unpaid bills that we're paying 12% interest on a good chunk of them. And we've got to catch up with these unfunded pension liability. It's stunningly out of control. And I don't know if you know, here are two facts I want you to leave this lunch with. We have fewer jobs in Illinois today than we had in 1999. I don't know if you know that. Illinois has fewer jobs today than we had in 1999. And in that period since then, our spending on Medicaid has gone from a little over $5 billion to over $17 billion. And our pension payments have gone from $850 million to $7.6 billion. The math doesn't work. And for us to think that we just need to raise some taxes and cut a program here or there and things will be fine, no. We need to grow, and the key to our growth is you. If right now Illinois should be strong, other states in the Midwest, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Texas for sure, Tennessee, they're growing their manufacturing base pretty solid. We haven't been. You've been held back by the costs and the lack of good education, well-trained workforce, and our uncompetitive workers' comp, et cetera. You've been held back, and I want to unleash you so you can grow. Your success is the key to the prosperity of the state, and that's why I'm all in 100% for you. I want to have a great ongoing partnership, great level of communication. You know, this is a hard process. We're not going to get 100% of what I'd like to get done. I've already taken a lot of things off the table. Our labor regulations, when all the states around us have gone right to work, that's killing a lot of employers. But I've taken that off the table, for now anyway, in a spirit of trying to get a deal. I've taken a lot of other things off the table about the way our trial lawyers can fund the judges that they argue their cases in front of them. We've got a lot of conflicts that I want to get out of the system, but in the spirit of trying to get something done, I've taken the things off the table, and we've got it down to 6 things. Stay strong. I will keep your group informed. Somewhere in the next 4 or 5 months, we're going to make a transformation of this state. And once we do, I'm all in. I'm going to travel. I'm going to call on your customers and get them working with you more closely. I'm going to get more of your suppliers right close to you. I want the manufacturing ecosystem booming in Illinois. We were the nation's leader in manufacturing. We're still strong. We're still number 3 out of all the 50 states. But we should be booming in our growth rate. And I will work my fanny off once we get these structural reforms to help you do that. Anything you need me to do, I'll do. I'm a traveling salesman 24/7. 24/7. That's what I did for 32 years in business myself, and that's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to be a traveling salesman for you once we get these structural reforms done. So hang in there, stay persistent. We're going to destroy the bureaucracy, shrink the bureaucracy, and we're going to restore the pride and prosperity in Illinois with our fantastic people and our key strategic location and our natural advantages. We are going to get booming again, so you guys are phenomenally successful. And I'm all in for you. Have a great meeting today. God bless you all. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you. We'll see you again.